Hola Coles, welcome back to the channel for yet another Barca news roundup, because today we shall be talking about the contract renewals that Barca has been able to seal in the last 48 hours. And I shall begin with none other than Gerard Martin, the 22-year-old left back who has been playing as the backup to Alejandro Balde this season, has just extended his deal until 2028. It's a 2.5-year extension, and it will see the player, of course, increase his wages at the club. That is not the only increment that he shall also see, because his release clause has now been increased to 100 million euros. So this clearly shows that Barca have tied down the future of Gerard Martin for the best part of the next 3 years. Well, clearly Martin at this point, he's still a backup to Balde. There's still a lot of improvement to be had in his game, but right now his deal, his future has been secured, and it places Barca in a very healthy and strong position in case he improves and he attracts interest from other clubs in the coming years. Barca would be able to churn out a decent profit on the left back, which is exactly what I expect, because I feel like Barca would need an upgrade in that position when it comes to providing cover and ultimately competition for the impressive Alejandro Balde. But the major contract renewal that has been making the headlines for Barca in the last 48 hours was the renewal of Ronald Araujo, who extended his contract until 2031 on Thursday. It was said that Araujo, who had attracted serious interest from Italian giants Juventus, but ultimately decided against making the move this winter. Well, reports had it that sporting director Deco was the one who intervened in the situation of Araujo. Apparently, he was able to convince Araujo to stay. Well, Araujo clearly had his own conditions for staying as well, because this contract renewal has come with some very interesting clauses. First of all, there is a very significantly reduced release clause in this new contract. Let's remember that Barca had included a 1 billion euros release clause in Araujo's previous contract. Well, in order for him to resign the deal with Barca, Araujo insisted that Barca would insert a very affordable release clause in case he may want to depart in the summer, and that is exactly what Barca has done here, because the details that came out on Friday following the post from Fabrizio Romano is that Barca have included a 65 million euros release clause in the new contract of Araujo. It is a 5.5-year contract until the summer of 2031, but there is a catch. Araujo can depart the club this summer if he still wants to move for an affordable 65 million euros. Well, while 65 million euros may be a reasonable sum of money, but for a player with the quality of Araujo and with what we've been seeing in the transfer market over the years, it is clearly a bargain price for any club that are able to sign Araujo for 65 million euros this summer. But that is not all, because if Araujo ends up staying at Barca in the summer, his release clause is going to increase immediately to 85 million euros in the next January transfer window. So clearly this is a steadily increasing release clause in this new contract that Araujo has signed for Barca. And I've heard some people insult Deco that he is incompetent, he doesn't know what he's doing, because he has increased Araujo's wages, extended the contract, and he has included a very affordable release clause in his deal as well. But for me, that's nonsense, bro, because I really don't buy all of that Deco is inept or he doesn't know what he's doing. Because in January, when Juventus were bidding seriously for Araujo's signature, we can't tell for sure what the actual figures that Juventus were planning to bid or what the actually bid was. We've heard rumors of 25 million euros to 35 million euros and all of that. Well, that would have been us selling ourselves short if we actually sold Araujo for anywhere close to those figures that we were hearing in January. So for me, this is a clearly win-win situation for Barca, because Araujo is a massively important player for us. Well, with the injury to Inigo Martinez, Araujo has a chance to win his place back in the team and also compete on a fair footing even when everybody is fit. And don't forget the fact that we are competing for all the major trophies this season. We have the La Liga to complete, we have the Champions League, we are still very much alive in the Champions League, and we also have the Copa del Rey. So many big competitions to come, so many games to come as well, coming in thick and fast as well. We need all our best defenders on deck, we need all hands on deck, guys. So having Araujo sign a contract extension is only a win for us. If Araujo had insisted that he wanted to leave in this January transfer window, we would have had little to no option than to accept a bid from Juventus. It may be more than the 25 or 35 that was speculated, but it wouldn't be anywhere near the 65 to 70 million that most of the fan base have been craning for. So for me, this is a win-win situation for us, because we get to keep a solid defender like Araujo for the next 6 months, where the most important and biggest games of the season are coming up. In case of injuries, Araujo is going to be there. That's if he's not even a nailed-on starter in the team, because this is football, guys. Anything can happen. For me, it's a win-win situation. We have the chance to make decent money off Araujo in the summer if he insists that he still wants to leave. And even if he stays, and then maybe in January his situation changes again, maybe due to a lack of playing time, and he still wants to leave again, well, we would be able to demand 85 million euros for his services. So regardless of the fact that the contract release clause has dropped drastically from 1 billion euros to 65 million euros, well, we all know that nobody was going to pay that 1 billion euros anyway. So let's be realistic, guys. This is a master stroke from Deco, because we have secured the future of Araujo. And even if we have not secured the future, well, we have ensured that we will make reasonable money from the sale or a potential sale of Araujo somewhere down the line. So this is a massive coup for Barca regarding the future of Araujo. But let's talk about Frenkie De Jong, guys. Frenkie De Jong has had a tough time this season, bro. He has not been anywhere close to being a starter. But it seems like the last few games, we've seen a completely different version of Frenkie De Jong in the last few games. When coming on as a substitute, or even when starting in the Copa del Rey against Betis, De Jong has been immaculate. He has looked somewhere closer to his brilliant best that we have come to know and love. Well, as it is at this point, seeing the situation with Araujo, they were in similar situations before, because both of them had their contracts expiring in the summer of 2026. But Araujo has now renewed his contract, of course, with the affordable release clause. Let's see what the future of De Jong holds, because De Jong has been one of the players that has been attracting a lot of interest and generating a lot of transfer talk away from Barca. Of course, due to his supposedly high wages, we don't know all about that, the details of that we really cannot tell, but due to his supposedly high wages, a lot of Barca fans really want to see the back of Frenkie De Jong, guys. But with the way Deco is moving now, and with the form that De Jong has been playing in, well, let's not be surprised. It's something that we really need to pay close attention to, because the future of De Jong may just take a twist just like that of Araujo has done. Because we also heard noises that anyone who is not renewing their contract, Barca are not going to play them going forward. Barca are not going to play them, because if they have 1 year left on their contract and they are not talking about renewal, then we have no business putting them out there on the pitch. That could be the situation of De Jong very soon if his contract is not renewed. We've seen that Araujo's contract has been renewed. Well, fingers crossed for what will happen with the future of Frenkie De Jong. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below, guys. What do you make of the contract renewal of Gerard Martin and Ronald Araujo? And what do you make, what is your interpretation of that significantly reduced release clause that has been inserted in Ronald Araujo's new contract? And what is your take on the future of Frenkie De Jong at Barca? I'd really like to hear all of your thoughts in the comment section down below, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please do give this video a thumbs up, turn on your notification bell so that whenever I drop on the channel, you shall be notified. But until next time, as always, Visca El Barça, and I'll see you on the next video. Adios.